So about a month ago, I recorded a video where I commented on how Monstercat was basically turning into Buzzfeed, and the main reason for that conclusion was because on May 3rd they released a blog titled Tracklist of My Life, where basically they went through and they basically had a, I would say, Buzzfeed style video where they had 10 things bound to happen when preparing for EDM festivals, and they would include a bunch of puns from their music along with GIFs that correlate with the pun. When you scroll down to the bottom, you would see that they were planning, it seems, to release these types of Tracklist of My Life blogs once a week. Now, interestingly enough, it wasn't received very well with the community. I did say that, I felt it was somewhat forced and not really the best place to be investing their energy when creating blog posts, and I'm not sure if they watched my video or if somebody else within their circle had notified them that it had not done well, or maybe it did do well, I don't know. But it's been about a month and a half, and they have uploaded a lot more posts, and interestingly enough, they have not uploaded a tracklist of my life since that post. Over the past month and a half that I have not uploaded a video on this, they have posted 7 blog posts, all ranging different topics and different sort of categories. There was topics about throwbacks, they had interviews, and they had even stuff like a tour. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. As you guys have probably noticed, I am kind of just pumping out this video pretty quickly because I want to keep the daily uploads going, but I've been focusing a lot more on making my mixed contest submission. But the first thing that I want to look at is the post after the tracklist of my life, the one that we were expecting a tracklist of my life. We got an HQ tour of the Monstercat company headquarters. They had a video to go along with it, they had a bunch of photos and a lot of little commentary, and personally, I found this to be pretty interesting. We often don't get to see a lot of what goes on inside of the HQ. Personally, I think it looks really, I would say that the Monstercat HQ looks like one of those really higher end businesses that try to make themselves a lot more eco-friendly, very futuristic and simplistic based, a lot of very open concept. They want to make sure that you don't feel like you're working in a cramped environment. They even have a dog here. They got a lot of tech, and honestly, I would say that this would probably be one of the coolest places to work at, if I'm not gonna lie. You often see some photos like this on their Instagram, and they did post a little sneak peeks, a couple sneak peeks here and there. But honestly, I thought this was a really interesting blog post. I know not a lot of people know about the blog post that they have, and even less so actually have any interest towards the blog post. I personally don't invest much time in it, but sometimes I do check it out. And honestly, if you're one of the kind of people that end up reading Wikipedia articles at 3 in the morning, I would suggest taking a quick look at the blog post that they have, because honestly, I think it's rather interesting, some of the stuff that they put, and at least the better articles that they have, they don't get enough credit for. After that, we did have the Coven Group Harmony campaign thing that they were talking about. This was announced on the podcast, I believe, and I also believe that they had made announcements on their social medias where basically Coven has a song coming out and they wanted people to submit their own vocals that they might select to put into their song. All you had to do was like sing a sort of melody that they have in this video. I don't know if they're still taking submissions, but if you guys are interested, you guys should totally check it out. After that, we had the Muzzy throwback and quick AMA or Q&A. I believe they only had like 2 questions anyways. Yeah, they only had 2 questions about how Muzzy got onto the label at first, but I would still say that it's still an interesting read. This was back when the Cascade EP had been released, and obviously very topical, very interesting for any Muzzy fans. After that, we did have a May feature. This looks pretty new. I don't recall this any features happening beforehand. They decided for May they wanted to feature Conroe, and they basically gave him a little bio. They were talking about the different songs, some of his achievements, and a bunch of more questions over here, photos, and etc. This is a lot more of an actual in-depth interview, unlike the Muzzy one where they only had like 2 or 3 questions from what it seems. Again, if you're a Conroe fan, I would definitely recommend reading this. After that, they had the post a couple days before the 200th podcast. They were hyping it up, giving it a bit of brief history of the podcast, what to expect, previewing the artwork as well as the merchandise that they were hyping up. another quick interview with Dan, the podcast man, about a couple questions, how he got into the job, his favorite podcast. Next post was about how Monstercat at the EDC 2018 at Calliope, or the Calliope art car. This was about how, the artists that they had, I like that they have atmospheres. Supposedly atmospheres might be making a comeback, which is pretty dank because they made probably one of the greatest hardstyle tracks on Monstercat and then decided to just never return, sadly. But if they decide to come back, that'd be pretty neato. They had a Staffter movie, which is pretty interesting. I would definitely recommend watching it. I thought it was pretty interesting. It is unlisted on their Instinct, so if you want to be one of the few people who know about unlisted videos, you guys can check this video out. Scrolling down a bit more, a lot of very flashy photos. After that, we got Throwback Thursday with Ramesses B. I bet this was right after he released Something Real, but of course he had also released a couple weeks later Prometheus, as of recently at least. They even teased it over here. The next release from Ramesses B is coming soon. So I mean, if you're really like a hardcore Monstercat fan, you can pretty much find some interesting information within these blog posts. Oftentimes they will be little Easter eggs. Obviously, most of the time I would say that these often go unread. So I mean, if you really want to have some like info or whatever, background info on some stuff that not a lot of people know about, you could probably find something here and there. And then the most recent post that they posted yesterday for Throwback Thursday was Monstercat Instinct, obviously, because they had released their album today, announcing their merchandise line, some more Q&As, and all that stuff. So, revisiting this, I think this is a lot better of a path that they could have taken. I'm really happy that they have not decided to revive their blog with Tracklist of My Life, because if that's what they had decided to do, I think they would have basically revived it to end up killing it again. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think Tracklist of My Life is a horrible idea. Obviously, like I said in the previous videos, there is probably a demographic for Tracklist of My Life, and I mean, if you wanted to make it a monthly thing, every once in a while thing when you literally have nothing else to post, then I would say that, Tracklist of My Life is a viable option. I was mainly worried in the initial video that they were going to revive the blog posts with simply Buzzfeed style articles. I am really happy to see that they proved me wrong, that they are showing that they have a lot more to offer of interest, and honestly I can't wait to see what they have next to post. I've said this probably a million times already. This is probably one of the least centralized things, or the least interesting things for the generic casual fan. Obviously, like I said, I'm not a hardcore follower of the blog. I'll check it every once in a while if I think, maybe they release something. But yeah, honestly, I can't really say much else about it. I would say that if you guys were completely turned off by the idea of the blog, I would suggest checking it out again. And anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today. I'm sorry that I couldn't really make an interesting video. Like I said, been working really hard on my mix. If you guys want a small teaser, I've been posting pictures of it in my Twitter, so you guys can probably check it out there, of the project file. I can't open up FL Studio right now for whatever reason, so I will just put a screenshot of the project file that I got so far. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna try to upload a mashup for Saturday, which is tomorrow. I'm gonna be working all day, and then possibly best case scenario, I'll be uploading my mix contest submission on Sunday with like some special visuals. Worst case scenario, I'll probably just upload another mashup. Who knows, I'll just kind of spit one out. I know not a lot of people were too happy by the fact that I uploaded 2 memes in a row. I mean, obviously a lot of people were, but there were some people who were like, hey, this isn't what I've subscribed for, and I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on uploading 2 memes in a row, but the Wednesday one about the mix contest was like out of the blue kind of meme, so I wanted to get it out of the way. The Conroe meme was the only thing I had for backup, and I would have spaced them out. I would have wanted to have spaced them out more. But yeah, anyways, I'm sorry again. I'll do better. I'm going to have more variety of content, and I won't be as busy now that I won't be worrying about this mix. I've literally been working on this mix 24/7. Like, I've been going to sleep at 4:30, waking up early, because I just want to get this mix right, and I want to get this mix out fast. Anyways, that's all for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's quick or if I rambled on too long. Complain whatever you want in the description down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.